Welcome back to Alma, Missouri. We find ourselves in a sea of weeds for episode 15 with me, MrSealyp. We're into April here on Alma, Missouri. I've got a few jobs to do as usual. I think it's time for a hoedown. We've got a lot of weeds. I've taken on 3 contracts. One you've already seen. I did a sorghum contract. I've got about 13,000 litres of sorghum to put into the silo. You know what, let's just crack on while I'm doing it. I've been moving over the cornflower, and this is here. We've got the finest cornflower, so this is the really good stuff. We've gone into the new month and we haven't got any sugar yet. I've switched over my pumpkin greenhouses to tomatoes. We can switch back or we can run both. As you can see over there, I bought a header. I've been leasing a header for the harvester. I thought, you know what, we get into harvest season, we'll make our money back, I'll buy a header. So we've got, that's a Titan Draper, it's in John Deere colours, so we'll have that on the harvester. I've bought some of the stuff up because some of our soy drink was ready. And we've got 2 pallets, we've probably got more now actually, but let's get the finest in. The reason I kept having problems here was I wasn't over the correct point. I was looking for it over here, and I was obviously just catching the edge of it, and it's here, he says, and it stopped again. There we go. That's better. So until we get the sugar over here, we've got butter, we've got the 2 flours. Once I get sugar over here, I can get the sweet cornbread going. We've got soy drink. We've got our carrots, our first carrot soup. So I'm going to do now is get our cornbread that we've got so far, load that up, and we'll sell all these. On the way back, as I said, we have got a weeding contract. It was one of those ones. I mean, to be fair, it's not paying out as much as I thought it would. And it's interesting now, you've got small weeds, which used to be just grab a weeder. But now, some of them say hoe, some of them say, you know, so I've got a hoe. I'm trying to think, I've got one from the premium. No, it wasn't from the premium, it was from the Horse Aggravation, I think. It's going to take some time. I've taken on a fertilizing contract. And I've got another sorghum harvest to do. That's why I bought the header, and it's quite a big field. It's going to take a while, so it's interesting. I've had this happen quite a lot. Could be the strap here as it does it. There we go. I think that's all it was. Yeah, sometimes it just, the strap catches the forks of whatever you're putting down. It's a weird one. It happens. I need to clarify something I said in the last episode. Thank you again to HMG. It was when I was talking about your production chains and setting them to distributing. What I didn't clarify, and it's what I meant, but I didn't say it. It will only distribute to production chains you own. So when I was saying about it could go to 2 or 3 if you own them. You know, if you've got a selection of different productions and you're trying to get a particular product to go to just one of them, you can't. But that's only if you own them. If you don't own them, it won't send them to them. At least I don't think it will. It's difficult to know. It's one of those, it's Schrodinger's productions, isn't it? Because you can't check the production to see if it's been sent there until you own it. Once you own it, then because you own it, it could be there. It's a weird one, isn't it? Anyway, I think these are either going to sell at the grain mill. I know the soup will. The rest of it, I haven't actually checked to see where the sell points are. We'll see what will sell here first, and then I can always check. I should have checked. Soy drink is not accepted, and it would appear, nor is the cornbread. Okay, it's not a bad price. So I guess next then is to go to our sell points. The bakery where I've just made it. The diner restaurant, cool. I was going to do that, wasn't I? Sweet pumpkin pie. Or pumpkin pie. Oh, Sid, one of the reasons I've switched over to... I was thinking of doing a really big field, another big field of corn. I was thinking about doing rye in the last episode. Maybe rye or maybe beans. I thought about doing another big field of corn and see if we can get the popcorn factory up and running. Oh, Sedalia. That's going to be an interesting one. Haven't sent anything off yet to... I suppose what we need somewhere... we need to sell anything, don't we? Let's get rid of the cornbread. Then give me a couple of minutes. I'll bring the forklift over. We'll put the ramp, call the train, and we'll send it off to Sedalia. I haven't done that. I haven't sent anything yet, so I'm hoping that does work. Whoa! It's well worth taking the time, isn't it? Once you get into that rhythm, and again, any of these productions, it's a long-term thing, season after season. Once you've bought the production and the initial cost seems a lot, you'll make that money back over time. That's the first 4 of cornbread I've taken. Having bought the bakery, yes, I've had to make corn flour, so I had to buy the grain mill. If I did the sweet cornbread, I then had to buy the corn dryer as well as the grain mill and the bakery. But when you can sell 4 pallets for 15 grand, over the months and over the years, everything will start to pay for itself, providing you do the crops, of course, to do it. So let's put that there. Do that. I'll call the train in a minute. I'm going to get the ramp put in place. And let's send some stuff to Sedalia. I think I've got another soy drink at the farm, actually. But I'd already put this on the trailer and sort of sent it. I suppose the easiest thing to do here... Actually, I don't need the ramp. That's for vehicles. I'll just use the forklift to load directly onto the train. What am I talking about? Bear with me. Excellent. Got the pallets off the trailer. Train is here. Literally, as I unloaded these off the trailer, train went through. Couldn't have been better timing. Actually, what I need to do is find... Where's one of the straps? I'm hoping the train isn't going to go off the edge of the map and just these pallets just fling all over the place. It does say we'll take them at Sedalia. Oh dear, we'll see, won't we? Straps on, right. So this is what I was supposed to be doing with all the ice cream. There's not a lot on here. I think what I'll do in future is I'll wait till I've got a load more, like I was going to do with the, or like I was doing with the ice cream. Wait till we've got sort of 10, 15, 20 pallets loads. Because renting the train just for 3 pallets is probably not very much. I thought I'd just be able to sell it at the diner or something like that, so we'll see. That doesn't bode well, does it? The train has come back around. Luckily for me, I know. It happens, doesn't it? What are the odds? While I was waiting, one of the locals walking past, we had a lovely conversation, asked me what I was doing. So I was waiting for the train. Because our soy drink was on its way back around, probably. I have been told there's a little... it's not really even a farmer's market, it's there's a little stall on the way out of town. I've noticed it before. Apparently they'll buy and sell stuff like a little market trading thing, I don't know. But we'll try there, see if we have any luck. If we do, brilliant. Fingers crossed. I need to send the train on its way, otherwise that's going to cost even more money. I missed this trap completely. Almost. Oh. Oh! Right, let me get rid of this train, hang on. Okay, train done. I'll take that back in a moment. Let's take this. So, as I said, sorghum harvest, fertilizing contract, and weeding. The weeding, we're going to be driving back past the field, so I'm going to go and get them with the weeding once that's done. So it's that usual thing of jigsaw pieces, everything slotting into place as we need to do it. It is a weed war. It is a rather large field, and it's a. I think it might be a 12-metre hoe. So where is it? Oh, there you go. Here, look. Please sell. There we go. Oh, okay. So here's where we hit onto something we've discussed a lot before. Well, I've discussed a lot before, but again, it depends if you've been watching the channel long or not. With productions, are you doing productions to make money? Are you doing productions to try something different? Are you doing productions? I mean, like I suppose the question is, why are you doing productions? What reason? If you are doing it as some of the productions will make you a load of money, it's an absolute load of money, and they'll pay for themselves in no time at all. With regard to, are you just doing it because you want to try something different? Have you been doing your harvesting, just taking your harvest, taking it to sell, earning some money? And you think, I want more. I want more from life. So the question I've got to ask now is, and soy normally pays out quite well. If we go to our pricing again. So, soy drink at the moment is selling for 486 for 1,000 litres. That's why I made just over 1,000. Soybean itself, as you can see, 1,415 for 1,000 litres. So that can fluctuate. There might be times of the year where the soy drink is worth way more, and it kind of goes up and down. So the question then is, do you use your soybean, as I have been doing, to make soy drink? Because I wanted to try something different, and again, I didn't check the prices beforehand, which I probably should have done. Am I better off selling the soybean or the soy drink? I'm better off selling the soybean. However, again, if you're doing a storyline, if you're along the route of you've got a contract for something, again, this is something I've talked about before. If somebody's come to you and said, we'd like to contract you to make a soy drink, sending them soybean isn't going to help. But again, would you take on that contract? If you can sell your soybean and make double the money, would you take on a contract to make soy drink where you don't make that kind of money? You know, so you've got to weigh up. Why are you doing it? What are you looking at? I should have checked the price that beforehand, because I thought that would pay out way more. But it's not the end of the world. I'm trying to think. I don't think I can take the soybean back. Oh, I'll let it all run. It doesn't matter. I've got a load of soybean left in the silo. So as you can see, we are now at this field here, 34. You can see my little John Deere. If we do that and that, that's the weeds. That's what I've done so far. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure this only pays 14 grand. Which, when you think about it, I'm trying to think if there's any. There aren't many modded weeders and hoes. I don't think there are. I'm sure this is a 12. It's not a 6 metre. So it's not small by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a massive field. I kind of made a start. I should have carried on just going on the outside, but we'll carry on. Just trying to see if you can see the weeds. It's difficult to. It's got the lights on. You can see them just in front, maybe. It's hard to see. They're in amongst it all. Let's just hop out. There you go. You can see them all there. That's the bit I've cleared. Now the ridges are going that way, so technically I should be going that way. I'm doing a kind of rip around the outside first. As long as I'm following rows, I mean, yeah, I know I shouldn't be. I tried to put narrows on this as well, and it wouldn't let me. Just have to make do with what we got. So we are having a hoe down, not the traditional type, with lively dancing and lovely music. It's interesting because it's predominantly, I think, it's predominantly an American thing, hoe downs, in a barn and that kind of, you know, probably these days line dancing and all that kind of thing. Which is interesting because line dancing, I remember years and years ago, some friends of my parents invited them to a hoedown, and it was a big thing. Everything was becoming sort of Americanized, and we didn't really have diners, we didn't have, you know, a lot of things like that when I was a kid. So that whole, anything you could do that was American, it was cool and it was different, you know. And my parents got invited, and I remember my brother and I going along to this thing. As kids, it was like, oh, it was the most boring thing you could ever think of. Oh, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. You know, and they'd done this hall out, and there were bales everywhere, and everyone came dressed in Western clothes, you know, well, I say Western clothes, you know, like cowboys, Wild West, that kind of stuff. Cowboy hats, and you know. And even then, jeans weren't that big a thing. My dad didn't wear jeans that often. It was one of those things. And they had the live band there, and it was brilliant. And that was the first time I think I ever encountered line dancing. I didn't know what it was. And they had a guy there, like a master of ceremonies, who was teaching people, because as English people, we had no idea. There was no internet. There was no, you know, you couldn't just go, oh, what's line dancing? Go and look it up, you know. It wasn't something that was ever on the telly that I recall. So it was a completely new thing, you know. And yeah, that was my first experience of kind of a line dancing, hoedown proper, and it was fantastic. It was so kind of uplifting, and it was just really cool, I remember. So anyway, yeah. So this isn't the same sort of thing, obviously. And we've got a lot to do. Anyway, I will say about the fertilising contract. I've decided, you know, I said about, oh, I might have been on, I'm trying to think, it might have been on the Court Farm crossover that I said about it. If you've got manure, and the manure doesn't go as far as you'd like it to, I'm going to do what I did on Edgewater. I'm going to convert my manure to either liquid manure or chemical fertiliser, because it will go a lot further. Now at the moment I'm buying the farm supply stuff from the Lort. Actually, I've come over a little bit too far there, I've missed a little bit. And I can get 5,000 litres for 1,000. But considering we've got a load of manure sat there already, if I can convert that over, any then contracts we get for fertilising coming up, and I'm assuming we're going to get a few. It's because that moves over. You get yourself lined up, and all of a sudden you just move slightly, and the whole thing slides side to side, and you can end up missing chunks. Yeah, so I'm going to produce my own. Have I done it before? Yes. Will I do it again? Probably. I did have a look at various different ones, different ways of making fertilisers, and it works. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is go back around and go around the outside lip again. I might hire a worker, actually. I'm trying to think. Once I've gone on the outside a few times, it'll cost me a little bit, but on the grand scheme of things, the only downside I've got is because I've leased the hoe. It's going to take way more than an hour, so I'll be incurring fees and penalties. But then, that being said, I'll make that back on other contracts. So again, it's a trade-off. You kind of look and say, well, I might not make as much on this one, but I know I can make more on the next one, and you just kind of go from there, I suppose. I haven't really done much weeding. I certainly haven't used many of these, if any. I didn't get many weeding contracts come up on Edgewater. I did some, not a huge amount. And we had a couple pop up on here, but again, not many. And this one was like, oh, that pays out good money. Bang, jump on that. Oh, the irony. The irony of me keep on saying in the last episode doing what I did and then saying, focus, focus, focus. Pay attention to the details. And then I see dollar signs and go, oh, I'll do that. That'll make me some money. And it will. It's just the time implication, that's all, isn't it? But the good thing with this is, because we're sort of on our way through now, this isn't, you know, if you were just starting out and you didn't have any fields, you didn't have much equipment, and this was the only contract you've got, at least now I've got the money, I can hire a worker if I want to. If I hire a worker, I can be getting on with other things. If you've got nothing else to be getting on with, if you're hiring a worker, you're spending money that you don't really have, and then you stop and think, well, I'm better off doing it myself, you know. So as far as the time implication goes, I missed some, potentially. It's difficult to see them. Yeah, I've missed a few here and there. There'll be some sporadic patches, but as long as the contract completes, that's all that matters. I shouldn't be going diagonally either. I know I should be going that way. Well, maybe I should. Isn't it bizarre? Because I'm doing that now, and while I'm talking, I'm looking down thinking that's not right. I shouldn't be going that way. So what we'll do, we'll go that way. And I'll tidy the other bits up. Raise that up. Drop it back down. There we go, that's better. Now we're following the ridges and the rows. Just all feels a little bit better. So let's have a look now and see what a mess we've made now. Yeah, like I said, I've missed a little bit there. If we follow the rows here, if I can clean this bit up, we could set the worker off going that way. But the problem is with doing that, there's a lot of turning. It's always better, or whatever field you're on, you really want to be trying to go the... Sorry, hang on. You want to be going the full length of the field, so you've got less turns. If I go that way, it's bump, 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 like you know, like a pinball machine bouncing backwards and forwards. So, anyway, weeding. That's where we're at. I need to go back to the farm and get a couple of things set up. We need to go and grab the harvester and the new header. Actually, I'm just thinking, because that's got a... Oh, I've already brought the tractor over here. It seems daft bringing the harvester all the way out to drive it all the way back, because field 10's over by the farm. I have now hired a worker for the weeding. I've gone round, done the edges, done a double run round, so we've now got a worker doing the weeding. I grabbed the pickup, went back to grab the header because it made more sense because it's quicker than taking the harvester. We're going to get that back. Thank you to all the people that reached out. When I was saying about, I still can't find where it was written down. It was somewhere. It might be in the the help menu. I don't know. When I said about if you sell directly, you lose 20%. A few people messaged and said it was 40% for selling directly. I don't remember it being that high. So I've set everything back to storing, because especially like the fire logs, like the wood logs, that production, they pay out really well. And losing 40% of those amounts, I'd rather spend some time loading trailers up and taking trailers, in all honesty, than losing that amount of money. And it's the same with the potato soup. I set that to selling, but again, no. With what that's worth, I'm just not prepared to do that. So, set of jobs next. We have got to unload this. Put the stuff underneath. That's what I love about this this auger. So we'll unload and that should go straight into there. Oh, is that moved? It looks like it's moved. It has. That's not good. What's happened there? Let's hop in. We'll start the engine, raise it. That's definitely moved. Let's do that. And then we'll swing that little bit further under. There we go, that's better. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Right. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Let's get that in. Sorted. Back to here. Swing that away. Engine off. Cover on. And we're good. So this I'll be using for the next sorghum harvest, which actually field 10 is just up here. Is it field 10? I'm sure it is, isn't it? I gathered up those errant 25,000 litre bales. Oh! I knew I'd gone too tight as soon as I got to that point. Right, stop that there. Go back and get the harvester. And we can crack on with that. Oh no, that was not the fertilizer, wasn't I? I need to get the fertilizer going. I don't know where to put this now. I can't remember how much it was to build it either. So we're going to be, that's why I need to start doing, I need more contracts coming up as we move through the harvest season. We'll pick up as much stuff as we possibly can. I've still got to plant that field. I keep getting sidetracked by all these cool things. I might just stick it on here as soon as we've got it. Or I might put it a little bit further over there. Actually, you know what? I might do it over there. So, this will be under production, won't it? Factories. Fertilizer production from digestate, fertilizer production from manure, fertilizer production from liquid manure, fertilizer, so that's liquid fertilizer production using water. And, okay, so I want fertilizer production manure, that one. And we'll stick it there. Need to still be able to get around behind it. Boom. Again, that's going to need some work doing to it, but what we should be able to do, got the thing here for lights and whatnot. Yeah, that's our lights. I can't remember what all these do now. That was for the markers. That was for markers, and that was for the sign, wasn't it, I think? Yeah. Don't need the lights on the moment. So yeah, we'll get this kind of mocked up, but what we'll do, I think I'll be able to do it from here. I might just do it with the trailer, but I can certainly get going. The yard is taking shape. As we require new things, we've got the money to do those new things. Right, well, that's unloading. We'll go around to, is it here? Manure to fertilizer. We lose half, but as I've said before, because the solid fertilizer goes so much further when you're spreading, it doesn't matter you losing half of the manure. Because if I use just manure for doing my muck spreading, which is what I've been doing on Court Farm Chip in Norton Crossover, it's yeah, I mean the amount you use is insane. Actually, I probably will be quicker with the trailer, won't it? So I'm pretty sure we're up to sort of 80,000 litres or something in here at the moment, and the cows are continually producing it. So why not? Let's pop that just there. I might have to scoop up a little bit because it seems to have spread out a little bit there. Do that and that. Where did I leave the other one? It's around here somewhere. I think we've got some potential potato harvesting coming up as well soon. So that root crop harvester, that's going to get a proper workout. I'm going to put it in somewhere. Quite a quick production if I recall correctly. It's going up at a fair rate, isn't it? Because on Edgewater, what I was doing, I was converting my manure to solid fertilizer. Actually, no, I wasn't, was I? I was converting straw to manure, manure to solid fertilizer. The solid fertilizer I wasn't using for fertilizing contracts, I was then selling, and we were making quite a lot of money selling solid fertilizer. I suppose at the end of the day, like any other production, somebody produces solid fertilizer. If you're buying chemical fertilizer in totes, in barrels, in drums, or you're getting it loose into a trailer, somebody is making that. Somebody is producing it. So that someone might as well be you. Why not? Right, I've got the last put in. Let's get the harvester up to the field. I haven't checked actually to see where has that got to be delivered to. Harvesting. Oh, to the potato production here at the farm. Okay, that's an interesting one. Weeding, 32%. Fertilising, it's not a big job, but if we're producing our own, that's all money in our pocket. So all good, and we'll get more fertilising contracts once we've harvested field 10. I did field 17. I'm sure we'll get contracts then for cultivating of those fields, then fertilising. So as we move into the new harvest cycle, this is where we can, the money I've spent on upgrading the farm, buying the sheep, all the things we've been doing sort of over the winter and early spring, will then get to the harvest point where we can then start recovering money again, you know? Yeah, that last little bit needs to be picked up with a bucket. Cool. Right, that's back in. Harvester, let's go. Have I got fertiliser in this already? What's in that? Solid fertiliser. Yeah, got a little bit. So we can get going with the contract. We have got some seed. Brilliant stuff, so we can do our seeding. I'll get onto it at some point. Oh, this needs some... I know I bought it already needing maintenance, but it's going to need some more. And some fuel at some point as well. Let's head up. I need to put some more lumber into our firewood production. I've still got that. I didn't sell that plot of land where we did the firewood, where we cut the trees down way back. I still own that land, so I can cut more trees down whenever I want. If I run out there, it's just I'd cut down so many, and when I brought them all down here, it was starting to get a little bit laggy because of how many I had there. I suppose I should buy some more land at some point, but I'm going to need the money to do that. So I think that's what this harvest season will pay for, will be more land probably. I need to clear all this rubble away as well. I think we can do that just by... I think we can just demolish it. Get a company in to remove it all. Do that a bit. Let's get cracking. Don't want to miss any of that last little bit there. few litres, but it's important. So there we go. Now this, like the corn header I bought, because this is part of the Colossus pack, this goes a little bit faster. Well, saying 11, it's supposed to go at 10. So rather than 6, it goes at 10. Obviously, there are the ones you can go for that have got the that'll run at 60 miles an hour or 46 miles an hour, or depending on what harvester and what combination. There's obviously the header tool height control for header that you can have, which you can adjust the header up enough and it will run at the speed of the harvester, not at the speed of the header. There are loads of different options. I think the 10 mile an hour one is an acceptable adjustment. That going a little bit faster, that's fine. But I think if I was doing like off-camera stuff maybe, or if I was doing just playing myself for my own, then maybe I would go for a faster one, or especially when you've got big fields, but then that's the point, isn't it? Big fields, you're doing the harvesting, and like I've said before, I have no problem at all putting on an audio book, putting on some music and cracking on. So I guess that's what you've got to then ask yourself is, are you playing the game and harvesting and doing whatever because you're enjoying the game, because you're enjoying using the machinery, the equipment, you're using it as a time to a bit of stress relief, to calm yourself down and just contemplate, whatever it might be, or are you playing the game to just make money, make as much as you can, as fast as I can? That I suppose it's that mentality of I need to win. I need to beat the game. And this is again one of those ones you don't beat the game. There's nothing to beat. The only thing you're setting is your own limits, your own decisions on what you consider to be completion. So I think for very large fields, this is a happy medium. And have you noticed I'm going the correct way around the field again? Potentially. Almost full. We can get a lot of this, aren't we? Mind you, we haven't got to take it far, just down to the farm actually. It's interesting I got that sell point to drop it off to. Potato processing that we've got on the farm. Got some bumps on here. Wow. And it took off. See, that's me zoning out. I was switching off and I was thinking about something, and I was going to tell you about something, and I can't remember the person that sent me it, so I was trying to rack my brains thinking about who it was, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Right, let me go and get the lorry. I do still get asked a lot about chaser bins, auger wagons. It's not something I've done a lot of. The other thing I haven't used much, and I used a lot on, I don't think, was it 15 or 17, is the Holmer stuff. If we go in and have a look into our, into here, and go to our auger wagons, I don't know, I don't think I've got it installed, have I? Oh, that might not be why. There's that root cart that takes everything, but yeah, I mean, chaser bins, unless you go for these ones here, 211,400 litres. I mean, that's a silo, in essence. You've got a wheeled silo. Haven't used those at all. Even that one's 141,000 litres, and not overly expensive, really, 113 grand. And then use a chaser bin to go to the side of the field where the lorry's waiting, which is a much more realistic way of doing things. It is a more realistic way of doing things. Do farms drive their lorries onto fields? Yes, they do. But often it is they just drive onto the edge of the field and then auger wagons and stuff come and collect and take to it. That's fine if you're running multiple, if you've got someone running the harvester, someone running the grain cart, someone in the lorry. or you've just got someone running the harvester, someone in the grain cart. I guess once you've got a worker going, I could do. Maybe that's something I need to look at. I talked about it a little while ago, didn't I, about the Colossus root cart, but there are other options. Other auger wagons are available. I think this is one, if I bought this field, I think this is one that I would definitely plough out and make wider. So you've got very strange angles at the end of the field here. I think I would smooth this whole end of the field out to make it a bit easier for, well, for everything, for all the work you would need to do here. So by the end of this episode, where do I want to be? I want the weeding to be done, which is still taking quite a while. I want this harvest to be complete. We've got a fair bit to do, and I want the. I'm not going to do the fertilising contract, but I want the our new fertilizer production to have produced enough fertilizer that if we run out in our containers, we can come straight back and refill. That's the idea behind it. And because the cows will every day will be producing more manure, any manure we produce will go straight into that fertilizer production, so we can keep that ticking over. Well, certainly putting the hours on this harvester. Do the wash as well. I don't think I've got a jet wash at the farm, have I? Oh no, I've got the hose. I'm sure I've got a hose, haven't I? Yeah, because I said I went around washing all the equipment. I'll probably do washing this again. The nature of harvest time, I guess. First full load of sorghum coming off the field. As you've seen, the weeder is still carrying on quite happily with a worker. No worker problems today so far. I've gone and jinxed it now, haven't I? We have done a little bit of landscaping around our new fertilizer production. So we've got a little bit of a track that runs in through here now between these two sheds, goes to the fertilizer production, then comes out the other side onto the track. But we need to drop this off. I think I'm set on front tank at the moment. We've got to deliver here to the potato. I'm assuming it's going to take all of this. I hope so. We'll see what half a tank does to an overall delivered. I don't think it's going to be very much. There's still quite a lot of the field to do. %. Right, switch to the back tank. Okay, so full load will be 30%, so it's going to be at least 3 and a bit. Hope we get enough off that field. Should do, no reason why not. What does the sorghum, what can the sorghum be used for in here then? I won't be getting the sorghum because it's going for a contract. What requires the sorghum? Oh, pig food. I haven't got pigs, not making pig food yet. 30% transport. Brilliant. Right. Cover back on. Yes, I've joined this bit up here to there with the track going through the gap. And like I say, I don't know if I'm going to put anything on there for the time being, so I might just grass that back over. And I shall carry on. Just wanted to show at least one unload. alright. Harvester still going? Nope. I'm back with the John Deere that was doing the weeding. Weeding is complete. I don't need to return that. I have got a hose. I thought I did, yeah. Going to give that a bit of a clean off. I think we'll go and check on the fertilizer. In the time I've been doing the harvesting, the sorghum harvest is still continuing. I've got a worker going on that at the moment. I've delivered 3 full loads in the lorry, so we're at 90% delivered. And each half of the trailer was 15%. So I need at least another half of a trailer to complete the contract. If I get more than half a trailer, there'll be a little bit left over, I think. We probably need to put some fuel in this as well. So what I need to do now is go into here, go down to our leased items. Telehandler tool. Return that. I thought I'd bought that. That's weird. Then we go to our contracts. So our weeding contract, 14,097, is complete. Now obviously there was the lease of the weeder, and we did go over into another hour, so it wasn't a huge amount I think it charged me for the extra lease. And then there was, because I had a worker going on it. So I reckon we probably made 12 grand maybe on that, which to be fair, like I said before, it was just the time it took, really. We're at 98% on the harvest and we haven't quite finished yet, so we'll be there soon. So contract income. So what we'll do now is we whiz around the corner. We'll double check and see how we're doing on our fertilizer production. Right, bottom right. So that's now sitting on 16,743 and still chugging. So with what I've got in here, I can top off the tanks. I've connected them up. Our front tank I think is full. Or maybe it's not completely full. It's alright. We'll top them off and then we'll be good to go for that fertilising contract. And it also means that we've got a load of fertiliser left over, and as I said, we'll just keep chugging away. Maybe that is full. There we go. Oh yeah, that was full at the front. Close that. So now we're full. 12,200 litres. We're good to go for that fertilising contract. I'm just saying keep an eye on that. It was the field that I did the... was it the wheat? What was it I did? And I was going to collect the straw and made a complete gaff. Was it oats? Yeah. It's that field that we'll be going out to the fertilising. So we'll stop that there. I'm going to go back out and we're going to get the rest of this sorghum contract complete, and I'll whiz out and I'll get cracking on with the fertilising. Did I say I've switched all of my stuff back to storing again? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Right, field's complete. We're back at the farm to unload. I've just unloaded a tiny little bit out in the back, so we've got the full front section. So what I'll do is what I always do, we'll get it unloading. I'll keep my finger over the trigger and keep an eye up at the top right. And we'll see if we have anything left over. If we do, great. If we don't, not a problem. Oh, there we go. Wow. 24,000 litres left. I'll take that all day long. I didn't get paid anything, so I'm assuming... Is there any sorghum in here? 3,030 litres, so it put some into there. So when it completed the contract, that's why I didn't get paid for it, of course, because it belongs to me. So it actually put the spare in there, and I've got some left over, so I've got some sorghum in there as well. So at some point, if I did want to add all the other components, all the other ingredients, we could do pig food and stuff like that. But what we'll do now, this can go over into the silo. I need to give it a check actually. I've got more manure there already. Strawberries there. The tomatoes are taking a long time to grow actually. Like I said, I switched over from pumpkins to tomatoes, and the sugar seems to be taking quite a while as well. Not quite sure why. Normally had another butter by now, but that hasn't happened either. So I've got to try and line this up as best I can. Where's that going to swing out to? We can try there. We'll give it a go from there. Let's jump on, start it up. Let's go further forward, I think. Needs a little marker. The Welker boy, the Welker boys. That's it. They put a marker. I think Calder Cornstar does the same thing. Is that going to be far enough over? I'm not sure actually. Let's see if I've got the thing come up. Yep. There we go. Into the silo we go. Right, that's going in. Harvester is back with its header. We probably need to give this a bit of a clean. This definitely needs some TLC. How we're looking damage, 85%. Not a huge amount of diesel left in it. I don't know if I can afford to do full. It's going to be, I reckon, 20 grand, if not more, to repair it potentially. So what I'll do is I'll run the header alongside this one, and then I'll stick the harvester back in once I've jet washed it. And then we can get on and do our fertilising. That's all in. So how much have we got in here now then? So sorghum, 94,000 litres, 55,000 litres of wheat, still got 27,000 litres of soybean and 22,000 litres of corn. Now my corn in the corn dryer in town has run out, so I won't be getting any more fine, or I won't be getting any more dry corn to put in to make the real fine corn flour, unless I take any more of that. But we might get some more contracts pop up as the course of the year goes on. Just depends how much of the sweet cornbread I decide I want to make. Move that out of the way. Engine off. Cover on. I can probably do with a clean as well. So I think what I'll do off camera, I need to give a few bits of equipment a bit of a clean. I need to put some more logs into there. I will check. Actually, you know what? I'm going to check now. I'm just incredibly curious. Put that there for the minute. I'm incredibly curious. So what I can do, the toolbox will end up going back to where it was first placed, which has been under here for quite a while. But what we can do with this is the Schultz modding one, and I love this. Works really well. I can move it to wherever I need to, and it will go back. I can always put it back there, but it will go back there anyway. So let's have a look what we're looking at. Repair, yeah, 20,634. So potentially the harvest I've just done, the entire harvest I just got paid for, would pay for the repairs of the harvester. But I've done a few harvests with this harvester. It's not like I've just done one harvest and I've got to use that money to repair the harvester for the harvest. You know, that's not how this is going to work. It will still keep running. It will still keep doing its job. Like I said before about a repair system, it would be cool if when it got to 100% it just wouldn't work. You know, that forces you to. I know a few people did message me a while back and said, well, that's the case, it won't start, or I haven't experienced that, but I'm not trying to think if I've run anything to 100%. So it's whether or not, should I do it with that or not? It's a bit of a risk, isn't it? It's a bit of a risk. But anyway, I mean, I suppose when you think about it, even if I spent the money from the contract, which I suppose I probably should collect, harvesting 27,968, not bad at all. So it's the fertilising job left. I still got 24,000 litres of soybean from it. Not soybean, sorghum. So if I went and just sold the sorghum as well, that contract has made me probably 50 grand if I sold the sorghum. Actually, what is the price of sorghum? I know I'm kind of bouncing around the menus and stuff, but no, wrong one. That was the right one. What am I talking about? There we go. Sorghum price at the moment, yeah, not quite 1,000, so it wouldn't be quite that. But well, we've got plenty there. If I sold all the stuff that I've been collecting, I've always tended to do this. If I get stuff left over from contracts, I don't tend to just sell it straight away. Unless I have absolutely no need for it whatsoever, generally speaking, I'll keep hold of it. And I'll often get to the end of a Let's Play and I'll have thousands and thousands of litres of various different things in storage, which I could have sold at some point, but I always have it there just in case. That thing of, but what if I do pigs? I could use all those constituent parts for pig food. Or what if I choose another production? If something new comes out and I think, oh, I could put that in, I could use that, then I don't have the required component parts for that production to run. If I've got them all stored, I can, if I want to, you know? Lost myself here. Have I gone past it? Oh no, it's just there, 28. It's right up the side of this field. This has got a crop in it now, which it didn't last time I was up here. But to be fair, we're in this, not a harvester, so we can whiz up the side of the field and get this fertilising job done. So again, another episode. I'm pleased with what we've managed to get done. I'm not annoyed, but the Sedalia thing was a bit of a pain, but not the end of the world. But we've got the harvest done, we've got the weeding done, we've got the fertiliser production in, we've made a little bit more money, we've put a little bit more stuff in storage. Let's get that going. And like I said, we caught farm. If you saw the size field I did my muck spreading on chipping Norton, I think I'd done, was it 3 full loads of 24,000 litres? So that would have put me at 75,000 litres, which is what I had, and that only just about did one small field. With what I'm doing here and doing this, I'm not going to get through 75,000 litres of this fertiliser. Anyway, all that aside, we have come to the end of another episode. If you're still with me, if you're still watching the Let's Play, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.